Atticus authors, welcome back to our live streaming YouTube channel and Facebook community. We're live in Facebook today as well. It has been a little while since I've gone live with you guys, so please excuse me if I'm a little bit rusty. But I am very, very excited. I'm guessing anybody who's here this morning is probably because they have seen the news and they know Atticus has had a major glow up. So we're going to be diving deep into the new look behind Atticus, why we did it, where things are, what looks different, and all of the above. I'm going to be jumping into Atticus and giving everyone a live demo. So if you don't yet own Atticus, you can have a sneak peek and see what it's all about. But just so that we can give everybody a few minutes to join in, if you can let me know in the chat box where you're joining from, if you are an Atticus user or if you are brand new, and just let me know that you can hear me and all that kind of fun stuff. So just as a special note, I can see comments from both Facebook and YouTube as we're streaming. I believe on Facebook it will probably say anonymous, so I may not be able to shout you out. But I will do my best to answer all questions during this live stream. And I do have a couple of the customer success geeks on with me. You guys all know and love Felicia, and I see Lizzie in the comments. So we will have a lot of support as well. Now I can see you guys are chiming in. Welcome, everyone. It's so great to see you. Winkler, just saw the email. Great, about to log in now. I hope you like it. Hello, everyone. Hello. From the UK, Cincinnati, Texas, Michigan, New York, Slovenia. Wow. Atticus on my to-buy list. Well, hopefully we can convince you it is worth the investment today. Welcome, James from Dallas. We've got Tracy here, Kansas City. Nova Scotia, fellow Canadian here. Okay, you guys are just pouring in. I'm so excited to see you all here. Thank you for joining me today. We've got lots to go over. I'm going to start with just kind of an introduction to Atticus, a basic run through. If you haven't seen the update yet, I'm going to bring you into my Atticus account and you can see what it looks like. If you are an Atticus owner and you haven't logged in yet, what you're going to want to do just to make sure that everything is fully refreshed and ready to go is just our standard update procedure. So to do that, you want to click the profile icon in the top right, log out of your account. It'll bring you back to the login menu. Just log right back in, and then you can do a hard refresh, which on a Windows computer is Control-Shift-R, and on a Mac is Command-Shift-R. That covers the majority of devices. And then you should see the new and improved shiny UI, which is programmer speak for user interface. I will just let you know also, I am not a programmer. I am the educational curator and one of the customer success geeks, but I do not do the programming. I am simply excited by it. So our programmers have been working absolutely tirelessly around the clock for months to get this update ready. I know we're going to have a lot of feedback in the comments. You guys are all so wonderful when we're doing these live streams. We really, really appreciate your enthusiasm and wonderful comments. We do share this with our programmers. They love to see the love that you are sharing as well. I know some of you have been waiting on some feature updates, or you have special requests that maybe you haven't seen yet. Just to let you know, this update, the glow up as we're calling it, is really one of the crucial steps in getting Atticus ready so that all of our future updates are possible. We need this new interface in order to get collaboration primarily, but a lot of the other features and even some of the teeny little bug fixes that we're still waiting on, it was required to do this update. So if you're not seeing what you've been asking for a while, that's because this had to happen first, most likely, but we are still on a roll with a ton more new features and updates. With this glow up, Nothing has really changed feature-wise. All your favorite features are still there. They may just be in a slightly new location. So we'll go over all of that. And by all means, keep writing in the comments. I'm going to try and keep an eye out here. But we do have some of the team members who will be answering in the comments as well if you have questions or comments. All right. M. Winkler Books is glad we kept the mascot and color scheme. Absolutely. Our little Atticus doggo isn't going anywhere. So thank you for that. All right. So I'm going to dive right in. I'm going to share my screen here. It should be all prepped and ready. There we go. So this is my Atticus dashboard. This is the new update. Now, as I'm in here, I won't be able to see all of your comments, but I will come back and answer questions after I do just a quick run through. So it does look different on the dashboard. What you see here, it's got a new look, but it has all the same features. So you can still upload your book, start a new book, and create your new box set. We now have a link to our tutorials page right here as well. We were finding that a lot of people found it difficult or didn't even know we had a tutorials page. So we want to make sure that you have access to all of our tutorials that walk you through all of the features. We have updated them for this new UI, and we will continue to put out new and more tutorials. So in the first line here, you may or may not have as many books. You may have a ton more books than I do. But this main page sorts by your most recently worked on books. And then right underneath that is the Master Pages gallery. So this used to be in a button, and now you can see it here. You can access any of your master page templates. As always, anywhere you see 3 dots, that gives you more options so you can edit your details, sync everything for the books. You can duplicate or delete your books still. It's pretty similar, just a fresh look. However, if you come over here and click See All, it brings you to this relatively new page, which is the My Books page. So it brings you into the All, which mixes up the master pages and your books, all your books in your account, but you can sort it by just your books or just your master pages, and you can still create your new book. You can search by title if you're looking for a specific book. You can sort by list view. If you find this easier to function with, you have that option. And you can sort alphabetically. This is where it will have the sort by project and version number. Sorry for anybody who is missing that immediately this morning. This is a high priority on our programmers list. It will be added very, very soon. It just needed a little tweak. So it will be back in action before you know it. As always, you can click on the Atticus logo to go back to your home dashboard. Up in the right-hand corner here, we have the same options as before. You have the Install App button here, your backup content. So when you press this little Save button, that backs up your entire Atticus account, and it will export a JSON file for you, which can be used to restore your account if anything crazy goes wrong. We also have our Contact Support button here, which will bring you to our support page and your profile. So this is nice and easy to log out when you need to. So that is the basic new home dashboard. It's not that different. It may be a bit of a shock when you first see it, but you'll get used to it in no time. I already have trouble remembering what it used to look like, if I'm being honest. So then we have a few more changes. If we open up a book in Atticus, it brings you to the writing panel. This is where things do look a little bit different, but all of your features are still here. And once you get used to it, I'm pretty sure you're going to find that it's even more intuitive than ever before. And the way it's laid out now is really setting us up so that we can add some exciting new features for you. So the edit book details, which used to be at the top of the left navigation panel, you would click your book title. It now has its own button, so it's a little bit more obvious. You can edit your book details here. All the same items, but again, it's just a little bit more clean, modern layout. a little bit easier to see everything. You can edit your details here. You still have the publisher details there. You can bring in your ebook cover here, and you can do your exports. So the EPUB, PDF, and DocX as before, and you can download the snapshot. When you download snapshot, that backs up just the book you are working on, and it will export a JSON file for that book alone. And anybody who is a little bit new here, you can export to DocX, but because Word doesn't fully support all of the formatting features that Atticus is designed to create for you, it will only maintain the basic Word details, like the content and the chapter titles and that sort of thing. It won't maintain all your formatting, but it's perfect for an editor or just a content backup. So the writing toolbar up top here is more or less the same. If you haven't seen some of the new features that we have added recently, you've got your alignment and your bullet lists here. We've got our headings that you can do subheading 2 through 6 here. Your additional formatting options are here. This is your scene break icon. There's your page break. If you want to add your links or a universal book link to your page there. You can add your image. If you haven't played with our call out boxes, that's a fairly new feature. It's very cool. We're not going to go into all of the features today unless you have specific questions about it. I just kind of want to give you a lay of the land and where everything is now that it's had a bit of an update. Our text message feature, which we have had some rave reviews for. I know you guys were really looking forward to that, and a lot of people have had fun with the text message feature. Got the footnotes here, social profiles. All of these are fairly standard. Now over here in the right panel, there used to be the more tools pull-out menu. It's now streamlined just into a right sidebar, but you can click on any of these and it will pull out here for you. So you've got your writing settings, your find and replace, your goals feature with your writing habits and your book goal here, and of course the smart quotes feature. Down along the bottom, this is where it will tell you, it gives you the saved little information here in the corner. These are new and just a little bit more convenient. We took in some feedback from everyone to make it easier for you to export the docx file. We've included that here in the writing panel. You can export directly. We've got our sprint timer down here, and you've got your word count feature, which you can search your word count either by book, the whole book it's as a whole, the chapter that you're working on, or just you can highlight a selection. Now, the one thing that is the kind of biggest difference on the writing panel here is you will notice there is no theme content up here at the top of the left navigation panel. Instead, if you want to see your previewer while you work, it's this little button down here at the bottom right, and it will pop up the previewer just like before, or you can tuck it away and close it down here. So the preview is still there. You still can change to print preview. You can scroll through your pages. You can scroll through your chapters and use your previewer however you would like there. So that is the basic rundown of the writing. You still have all the same features here on the side panel there, so I didn't go over that. Then if you get into formatting, again, it looks a little bit different at first glance, but you'll see it's really not that different, and if anything, just more conveniently laid out. So when you want to edit your theme, you'll just, very similar to what you were doing before, you select your theme, click the 3 dots here. Actually, I don't want that one. I want, where's my little dog ready theme? We'll go with this one here. Whatever theme you want for your book, click the 3 dots and then you can edit your theme. Now, instead of having everything kind of laid out down so you have to scroll all the way down the page, you can now see all your options along the side panel here, and you can jump right to them, whatever you want to work on. So you've got your chapter headings. You can check or uncheck any of your options as always. If you uncheck them, it just cleans up your screen a little bit. You can still put your image in there. Everything is the same. Then you have your paragraph settings, your subheading options. You still can do your ornamental scene break. just a little bit tidied up and a little bit cleaner to work through, a little bit easier to see everything. You have your notes, your print layout. These are in slightly different locations, but it's really intuitive. You'll find everything that you're looking for if you just click through these options. So you can still adjust your margins. We've actually made this a little bit easier to find. A lot of people didn't go all the way down to the advanced settings before. So now you'll have more of these options right at your fingertips. In case anyone doesn't know, keep options mean that if you have an ornamental break or a subheading that ends up at the very bottom of the page and the next paragraph gets separated onto the next page, if you have keep set, it will keep the break or the subheading with the next paragraph when it gets separated onto the next page. Layout priority, we've got a tutorial all about this. You've heard me talk about it, I'm sure, if you've seen any of my live streams or demos before. You've got your typography here. So this is your print body font, your font size and line spacing. Your header footer, you can scroll through your options here to choose which header footer you want and change the sizing here. I had a question just the other day if you can increase the size of your page number while still keeping the size of your header small where your book title is. You can do that if you have the page number in the footer, because you can adjust the footer size separate from the header size. So just a fun little aside note there. And then you have your trim sizes. And then as always, when you're done and you've set up your theme, you're just going to want to save your theme. I haven't changed anything, so I'm just going to discard everything here. And as always, you can export to PDF and EPUB to the right there. So that was the quick overview, run through of all the things that have changed just slightly. Hopefully you can see, however, that they are, all the features that you love are still there. And now we're ready to start adding some brand new features. So I'm going to pop back into the chat here. I'm going to scroll back. So bear with me for a moment. You guys have been chatty. I love it. I'm going to see if we have any questions here. Okay, now it's possible that some of your questions have already been answered, but just for the sake of this live stream, I'm going to answer whatever I come across so that everybody can hear it as well. So S&D says, just opened Atticus and can't seem to see the formatted page at the same time as the page I edit. So hopefully that when I showed you the previewer here, if you're in the writing section here, you can open the previewer by clicking the little button on the very bottom right there. So hopefully that answers that for you. I think that's a question that I've seen a few times. So hopefully that covers it for everyone. Sherry says, I wondered that too, but she found it. S&D, 3/4 of the way through a book and wasn't expecting this, so panicking. Sorry for the panic, everyone. That's why we're doing so many live streams. I'm going to be coming on every day for 5 days to make sure I try to get as many time zones as possible and try to mitigate the panic, because I know it can be a little bit overwhelming when things look different. But everything is still there. So it shouldn't have really changed anything with your books. Gabrielle says, I'm really excited because with this new design, the plotting tools will fit better when they'll release. That is exactly true. As mentioned at the very beginning, the reason we have to do this, this glow up is so that we can add more features for you and they have a place to live that makes sense and is really easy to navigate without getting too crowded all over the place. So you've got it. That's exactly right, Gabrielle. I love that the tutorials page is so easy to find now. Thank you. Yes, we're excited about that. Hopefully you'll check out a lot of our tutorials. I've got a lot that I'm working on, so we should have some fun ones coming soon. Elizabeth asks, will any of my work be lost? No, absolutely not. This is just like any other update where it just refreshes your content. Everything will still be there. Don't worry. If you log out, though, Atticus will back up all of your account and you'll have that JSON file. Nothing should be missing, but if you have any bumps along the way, you can always contact our support at atticus.io. Sorry, my hair is very staticky and it keeps getting in my mouth. It's winter time. Okay, I'd love the option to hide or minimize the tutorials link once I'm used to it. Okay, that's interesting. It is only on the home dashboard, but we appreciate all feedback, so I can take that to our team. Sherry says the install app doesn't seem to do anything. So depending on your system, the one that's built into Atticus that you can see up here may or may not work. Now I'm only sharing my Atticus screen, so you can't see my browser bar, but there should be a very similar icon in the right of your browser bar that if you click that, it will give you another option that should work better for you. We do have a tutorial that has screenshots and little images to help you if you need some help with that. And of course, if you need more help, you can write into our support desk as well. It looks like Lizzie already answered that. Oh, and Sherry confirmed. Okay, so this is, I want to address this for everyone. Sherry says, I'm in Firefox. So the reason we recommend you use Chrome with Atticus is only basically for the app version. If you're using Atticus in the browser, you can use it on essentially any browser that you want to, including Firefox or Safari or Brave or anything like that. And it works the exact same. Not all browsers are as friendly towards progressive web apps, however. So installing the app doesn't always work depending on the browser that you are using. Chrome is really progressive in terms of progressive web apps. With Firefox, if you do want to stick to that browser, you can add on an extension. I think it's just called Progressive Web App Extension. If you Google it, it should come up, and that will work with Atticus. But if you have the option to use Chrome, the app should work better there. However, just so everyone knows, the browser version, if you just go to app.atticus.io in any browser, all the features are exactly the same. It looks the same. It acts the same. The only difference is you are in a browser tab instead of a kind of standalone app. With my ADHD, I don't remember what it used to look like either. And see, I've been looking at it for a little while now because I've been doing the tutorials, but you just got it today, so that's saying something. I love it though. I truly can't remember. Okay, so Rosa, I hope I pronounced your name correctly. What is a callout box? Okay, so I'm going to jump into Atticus here and show you. So a callout box is most commonly used in nonfiction books. However, if you have the use for it in your fiction novel, you can use it however you would like. And what it is it just kind of calls out a certain area of text. So you can use this if you want to highlight key features, or maybe you have a notice in your book or something along those lines. So you would just highlight the text you want to turn into a callout box, and you click the icon, and you can see it squares it off for you. I'll show you up here, and then you can edit it. So you can change the fill color if you want. This is mainly going to be for EPUBs that support color. Unless you're printing in full color, that is an option. And then you just kind of select fill. If you want to have a border or not, you can have it selected there. You can change the style of the border or how thick it is. You can round it off. And if you're using these callout boxes throughout your book and you want them all to match, you can name it as a preset and save it. And then anytime you I can't type and talk at the same time, sorry. So save as preset. Anytime you add another callout box somewhere else in your book, you can then just use your preset, and it makes it really quick and easy. And if you want to get rid of the callout box after adding it, just highlight your text again and just click the button again, and you can get rid of it that way. So that was a feature that all our nonfiction authors were requesting for a very, very long time. And I think that it is quite popular. Okay, so Lizzie's on it. She's answering all these questions, but I hope you don't mind that I'm also covering them in video so that you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, hi Peg. I couldn't find where to enable drop caps. Okay, so that is still going to be in the formatting settings. As usual, you'll select your theme, click the 3 dots beside your title there, and just edit your theme. And then the drop caps are under paragraph. So it used to be you would kind of scroll down this big long page in the theme settings, and now they're just kind of, you have your menu options here where you can click through them. But the drop caps are under paragraph. So you have that there. Do you teach how to publish on KDP and make money? I don't. That's a little outside the scope of Atticus. If you jump over to kindlepreneur.com, they do have a ton of tutorials and blog posts there, though, which you might find helpful. And you can absolutely use Atticus to format any books that you're writing in order to publish them on KDP. And having the cost of formatting taken out of the way can save you a lot of your profits because it's a one-time cost for Atticus and you can format all of your books that way. And always have a professional level, which helps convince your readers that you are worth reading, because first impressions do matter. So hopefully that helps. Let's see, can we now update the manuscript without creating a new book? So Maribel, by this, I'm guessing you mean that you've had a book in Atticus that you formatted, and maybe you've exported it in order to send it to an editor, and then you want to bring in the edited copy. There's not a immediate way to do that, like a one-click way to do that. Really, with your theme saved, it should be very easy to just import as a new book and click your theme and reapply it. Then you should just have to move your front matter into place if you import any of it. Another option, if you are only importing a few chapters that need to be replaced, I'm not sure if you're familiar with this feature, but you can import chapters. Click the 3 dots beside the Add New Chapter button at the bottom of the left navigation pane here, and import chapters, and you can import into a current book. If you're replacing all of the content, the quickest way that I have found to do this is to turn it into a part and then delete the whole part. So if you haven't done that before, what you want to do is click the very first chapter in your book here, and then come down to the end and press Shift and click. And I don't know how well you can see it on the screen here, but kind of highlighted all of the chapters. And then if you right click, you can create a part, and it brings them all together. We even have new icons here. It brings them all together into a single part. And if you want to just delete them all, you can press delete here. For anybody who's not aware, delete children means that you will delete everything that is inside that part. If you want to keep children, you'll keep the content but get rid of the part. So it just returns it to the body section. So if you want to delete a whole bunch of chapters at once, that's a quick and easy way to do that. And then you can import your new manuscript into the book that you're already working on. So I hope that is an option that works for you, Maribel. Greg is wondering, why does the formatting option default to an e-reader view? Can we have it default to print view? It defaults to the e-reader view because the print preview has to render your book completely every single time you make a change, because every little change that you make in your book can change the page count, and the print preview is very much what you see is what you get. It has to re-render your entire book. If you always have it on print preview while you're working, all of those changes can cause lag, and depending on your internet speed and your computer, it can bog it down quite a lot. So we have made advancements so that this doesn't happen quite as often, but we typically recommend to only check the print preview when you need to confirm something, as opposed to when you're always working in your book. So that's why it defaults to the iPad, because the e-reader is just a kind of more of a vague idea, because all e-readers are going to display your book a little bit differently. It doesn't have to re-render the file. It's much more forgiving, I suppose, in the programming. S&D says, I had no clue there was going to be plotting tools. We have all sorts of plans for Atticus. Our tagline is the one-stop shop for authors, and we really want to make it the one tool that you need, that you can keep everything in one place. So forward-looking, we do want to have plotting and outlining tools. We want to be able to allow you to keep all your character notes and your series Bible in the program. We're also going to be setting up collaboration features, as I know a lot of you are waiting for. So you'll be able to work with your editors right inside the program. You'll be able to work with, if you want to work with a book formatter, and while you're writing your book, you can bring in beta readers or ARC teams. We'll even have a publisher's version. That is looking forward into the future, but with this new update, we are getting closer and closer. So all of these things are on the way. We got a lot coming. Linda asks, should you use the app or the web browser? This is really personal preference. You can use whichever you prefer. I tend to work in the browser myself because I like to have 100,000 tabs open in my browser. If you like to be a little bit more distraction-free, maybe the app version is better for you. Really, the only difference is that it pops up in a standalone window. So yeah, it's just kind of personal preference. There's no better way to do it. Is there a link somewhere to find info on them? I'm not sure what you're referring to. If you can clarify, or maybe you have clarified down somewhere else, I can answer that for you, but let me know. Where are the plotting tools? Rosa asks. We don't have them quite yet. That is in the future. We are working on it. The bottom part of my cover is missing in Previewer. Did not have that problem before. However, it seems okay when exported to EPUB normal. In the Previewer, so the iPad and the phone previewers in Atticus, they're not super perfect. So every single device is going to display your book a little bit differently. This is more obvious with the book cover, because if the shape of your e-reader is slightly different, so your phone is going to be more tall and skinny, whereas a tablet is going to be wider, that ratio will change. So Atticus can't have all of the different models and all of the different devices and all of the different versions. So what you're seeing in the previewer on Atticus is a basic idea. We have found that the most accurate that goes across devices to preview or to proof your EPUB file is Kindle Previewer, which you can get on Amazon. It's a free EPUB reader, very similar to like Adobe Acrobat for PDFs. It's just something that allows you to open the files on your computer. That is the most accurate to what your customers are going to see when they buy your book. And that is if they buy it from Amazon or Ingram Spark or Kobo, wherever. That's the most accurate preview. So what you see in the iPad preview is not going to be exact as to what people are going to see. So when it's, as long as it looks good in Kindle Preview, or when you export it to EPUB, then you are, then you should be good. Okay. Let's see here. Is it possible or going to be possible to use 2 different fonts within a page body, or to adjust the space on the top of the page between the title and the first line of text? Okay, so these are both very popular requests. They are things that may be available in the future, but I cannot say for definitely sure. For the spacing, all the different preset themes have a slightly different setting depending on the items that you are using in your theme. So if you create a theme from scratch, that will generally give you a little bit of a smaller space in between the title and the body content. But because Atticus is very much like a template-based program designed to have mass appeal, to make the best looking product for the most amount of books, we do that by reducing the control that you have over every single little aspect. Otherwise, it would just become a big convoluted program similar to InDesign. So that's why it's kind of programmed in the way it is. It may be something that we find a way to allow you to adjust it a little bit more in the future. But for now, it is kind of what it is. For the 2 different fonts within a page body, I'm assuming you mean, you know, if you want to have your main character in one chapter have a different font as the main character in another chapter. The only way to work around that right now is to use a subheading as a paragraph style. So you can highlight the entire text of a chapter and apply a subheading, and then choose, pardon me, a different font for that subheading. That works really well. You can even have it as the same size. The only kind of drawback is that it does bold the font a little bit. So it depends on what font you're using and if you mind that being bolded. I can show you a little bit of an example here. So if this, we'll say this is chapter 1 and this part here is chapter 2 as an example. We'll show you. So if I highlight this section, I can apply a heading to it. And I've already got the heading set so that it looks like a script font. So let's see if I can zoom in for you a little bit here. Let's see if you can see that a little bit better. So you can see that this is kind of a script font and this is the regular font in the body. And that will be the same for the print version as well. And that just is that you set your heading settings in the formatting. And it's one way to work around that. So hopefully that helps a little bit. James asked about the default to print as well. I think I went over that, so hopefully you caught that. Linda asked, is there a way to delete several chapters at once? I went over that as well. My primary method of doing that is to create a part and then delete the entire part. So hopefully you caught that. I'm just going through all your comments here. Keep them coming. I am happy to stay on as long as you have questions. Linda asks, can you sort books in series in the home or books list sorts by title, but would be nice to sort by series? So we do have an update coming. It was supposed to go live with this UI, but a few things just need to be tweaked. But if you had it set previously so that your series are collected in a project or you have set them to a version, you will be able to sort that in the My Book section. That's one of our priorities, is to get that back. It just got lost in the mix a little bit, but it will be back soon, and then you'll be able to sort your My Books by project or version, and you just have to add the series in there. Hi, Teresa. Can you have a separate title page for ebook and paperback within the same book? You can, absolutely. So with your title page or with any front or back matter, if you click the 3 dots beside the title in the left navigation pane, there's the option to include in, and you can choose all, ebook only, print only, or none. So you could have a title page that is for the ebook only, and then you can click the 3 dots by the add chapter button here, add a new title page, and you can set this one up so that it is included in print only. And you can see it will show you which version it's in. So if you're on the print only version, it will say this content is not included in the EPUB over here in the previewer. But if I switch to print, you can see my my title page there. And if I go to the other one, the EPUB version, this is set for EPUB only, and it says this content is not included in print. But if I switch it back to the iPad view, you can see the title page there. And you can do that even if these are converted to full page image. You can do that for any page that is not a standard chapter. I hope that makes sense. EJ says, what a tremendous product. Thank you. I've pumped out 8 books over a year. It just gets better with your new features. Keep going. I love it. Thank you so much. That's really, really nice to hear. I'm so glad you're liking it. And congratulations. 8 books is huge. That's amazing. Very exciting. Similar question. I'd like to be able to apply the chapter number format to the epilogue and other section titles. Okay, so I apologize if I missed that question somewhere. That's not currently possible for the automated chapter numbering. The automated chapter numbering is its own thing. It is only applied to the automated chapter numbering. Any of the epilogue or prologue titles, they will match your chapter titles. So if you want to have chapter 1 and then a chapter title, and you want the chapter 1 to match your epilogue, what you're going to have to do is manually type in chapter 1 into the chapter title section, and then use the subtitle section as your chapter title. And then you'll be able to match it throughout your book. Hopefully that makes sense. Here I can jump in and kind of show you what I mean by that. So right now, it's saying chapter 1 here. That's the automated chapter numbering. So the only thing that's going to match this is the automated chapter numbering. If I want to match the epilogue, I would have to manually type in chapter 1 here, and that's chapter 1, and then ignore that because I would turn that off. But for the sake of just quickly showing you, I would type in chapter 1, and then I would type in my chapter title in the subtitle location. And then if I add a, what did you say? You wanted an epilogue? So the epilogue title then matches the chapter 1. I have to hide that because that is confusing. So to hide the chapter number, just edit my theme, hide chapter number, and then save my theme. Okay, so hopefully that makes a little bit more sense. So now you can see my chapter 1 content or title formatting matches my epilogue. And then I still have my chapter title in the subtitle section. Hopefully that is a helpful option for you, Janet. Okay, let's see. At the moment, I've been having to use heading sizes for times I need larger text or using sans serif to look different, which is not all that. So I'm guessing that is in reference to the different types of body text. If you want larger text, then the headings are perfect for that because you can set them to be larger. They will be a little bit bolder. Depending on the font, different fonts are different sizes. So some of them may be a little bit smaller, but that's a great way to do it. Linda says, would be nice to add a number in series field that could be sortable, i.e. book 1 in series. Thanks. So again, we will have the projects and versions back very shortly, hopefully within the next few days. And then you can search by title now. So if you go to your home dashboard, if you open up your My Books, or you can click up here to My Books, you can search by title as well. So if you have book 1, I don't, but you can search and it will show you all the books within that title, if that helps. But we will take your feedback and we can bring that to our programmers, and there may be more options in the future as well. Maribel asks, can you review the creation of a saved author page, copyright page, etc.? Absolutely. So the master pages, I'm guessing, is what you mean. So if you have a page that you're using over and over again, like your About Author page, what you'll want to do is you'll create it once. So we have an About the Author page here. Where did it go? So about, oops. Okay, so let's say this is a beautifully well-written About Author page, and I want to use this on every single book that I ever write. What I would want to do now is, beside the title of the page in the left navigation pane, click the 3 dots, and the option is to save as a master page. Now you can see it comes up with a pop-up here that says master page created successfully. And it has this new button down at the bottom that says apply changes. So if I have, so right now I am in my book, Little Dog Ready. If I go back to open up, let's say, Write, I can now come in here to the end. This is clearly just a sample book that I play with, but I can come down here. I can click the 3 dots. Now under Master Pages, I have About Monique Danielle. And this is the page that I just created. And I can pop that into any book that I want. Now, as you can see, this book has a different theme. So it takes on the theme of the book that you apply it to. It's just the content that is going to be the same. But if I come in here and add new content, I can now apply changes, click the Apply Changes button, and it has the option to apply to all books that use this saved master page, or only to this book. So if I just want to make a change in one book only, I only apply it to this book. But if I want this change to appear in other books, I can apply to all books. So apply current changes, and it gives me a pop-up that says changes applied successfully. And now if I go back into Little Dog Ready and check out my author page, you can see the add new content that I wrote in there is in my page. So this is a really great feature for books, especially like your also buy page, for example. So if you have a long back catalog of books, say you've got, we'll go with 10, that's a nice round number. So you've written 10 books. So you can set up your also buy page one time, add all your links in there that one time. Now, every time you go and add a new book to your backlog, you only have to add that new link one time and then apply all the changes to all of the rest of your books. And then you can just export them knowing that your master page has been set throughout all the rest of your books. You don't actually have to go in and manually change it each time. So it's a huge time-saving measure there. And you can use that for any pages that you reuse in multiple books. So I hope that helped. Also, there are other, so you also mentioned copyrights. So the other option there is there are some preset layouts. We do have a tutorial that goes through kind of all the different types of preset layouts. But if you click the 3 dots here under preset layouts, there's a whole menu of them. And whenever you add them, it gives you a description of like what is common in that type of page layout. And it gives you some basic settings. So some of them are maybe they have block quote setting applied automatically. You can change anything you would like. You can also open this gear icon over here and change the page options just for specific pages that this overrides your theme settings. So that's an option as too, if that's what you meant. I need to take a drink. Sorry, guys. I'm running out of voice. Okay. Can we change the default preview? So I went over that with in regards to print. It'd be nice not to be locked on iPads when Kindles exist. You can't change the default. You can change it in your previewer. Again, they're very basic. They're not super specific. So whichever one you're viewing it on is going to be relatively similar across devices. Natasha says, in the past, I've had issues with a header image not displaying. Can you please go over that process given the new look? So for the chapter header images, you can see, so I have one. I'm so used to seeing the iPad, by the way. It looks funny to me if it's not there. I have a chapter heading image set here. You set this in your formatting. So click on formatting, select your theme, click the three dots and then edit. Under chapter heading, you have your option to upload a image here. You can change it out of your gallery. You can use a background image if you prefer. You can set where you want it to appear, and then you save your theme. And then if it's not showing up, it's possible that you have hide chapter image selected in the gear icon here, which hides the image, or even hide chapter heading, which hides the entire heading. If that's not the case, it's possible that maybe in the print version, your image is actually too large to display on the page. We would have to look at that on a case-by-case basis. It should work automatically, but if you are having trouble with it displaying, it also might be the file type you're uploading. So Atticus can use JPEG and PNG files. They're fairly universal. So if it's not one of those two files, then maybe that is the issue. But you can write into support at atticus.io if anything is not working there. That's an interesting request here. I'd like a vault to chuck finished or abandoned manuscripts so they aren't on the home page looking messy. That's an interesting request. I kind of like that. I will share that with our programmers, and who knows what we will see in the future. Let's see here. I'm starting to pick through some of the comments. Sorry if I am not reading everything that I know has been covered. We're coming up on an hour here, so I want to make sure I go over anything that is hasn't been touched on yet. So YM says, I saw the text message function last week. Have you gone over that already? I haven't shown it. It hasn't changed since before, really, but I can show you. I'm just going to take this and pretend they're sentences in a text message. Don't read it, guys. It won't make sense. Okay, so let's say these are text messages back and forth. All you do is you highlight your content there, and then you can see the text message feature. You just apply it, and it will automatically apply the text messaging here. In the options, you can also have a person's name, person 1, and then this will be, oops, person 2. I'm really creative when I'm on these tutorials. So with these little icons here, this says it is a left text bubble. This is the person's name. So if your message is from Mark, you want to put the profile there, and it will stick with the message next to it. And then your next message, your outgoing message, you can change the direction so that it appears on the other side. And then you can have your name again. There we go. And then we pop this over to the right side. So you can see how it kind of shows up there. And you can also edit this so you can change the design. Oops, that's the wrong one. The design. Click the gear icon here, and you have a few different options. So it changes the colors here. It will display slightly differently depending on each e-reader you're in. Print books, it will print to grayscale if you are printing in black and white. This one is going to be the darkest. So if you are doing this in print books, you'll probably want to use one of the first options. So iOS to iOS or iOS to Android, because these will print a little bit lighter when they're converted to grayscale, but you will still see the color differences. So hopefully that shows off the text messaging feature, despite my horrible text messaging creativity. Okay, Linda, can you explain more about parts and when to use them? Used to have back matter section. Is that used for a part now? So yeah, when Atticus first came out, there was a back matter section separated, very similar to how the front matter was, but it was really kind of redundant. The reason the front matter section is separated is because of the pagination. So all of your books have to start with page number 1 as the first page in the body content. In order to do that, we have to know what is body content and what is before body content. So anything that appears before the table of contents does not show up in the table of contents at all. Anything that is after the table of contents but is before the first page in your body section, it will actually be paginated with Roman numerals. And then page number 1 is always going to be the first page in your body section. The back matter just continues the regular pagination. So it flows right after the content of your book. And that is industry standard. That is required from publishers. That is how it has to work. But because the pagination just kind of continues to flow, there doesn't need to be a separation. The only thing you may have to do is if you are writing in Atticus, and say you've gotten to chapter 10 and then you add a new chapter, and this is really a back matter page, it's not a chapter, all you'll want to do is click these 3 icons or 3 dots and uncheck numbered, and then it takes it away from a numbered chapter. So you can see the numbering stops. And let's say this is back matter. But really the pagination is going to be the same. You just don't want your automated chapter number. A part is going to be if you are sectioning out parts of your book. So some large fiction books that maybe you have the first part 1 happened 100 years ago and part 2 happens in current time, or nonfiction books will often have segmented parts, and then you can have literally just part 1, part 2, part 3 in your book and separate it into sections, and you can have a part title page that way. Very similarly, volumes is primarily designed for box sets in Atticus so that you can have like book 1, book 2, book 3, but you can also use them for anthologies or any other type of work where you have multiple books, even if it's not in a set or a series. So that's how the volumes work. Parts are really just an organization. If your book doesn't naturally have parts, you wouldn't need to include them, and you certainly don't need to wrap up your back matter as a part. It's just not necessary. I hope that explained it. I hope that helped. Okay, let's see here. Jason says, love the design. Thank you so much. I'm so glad to hear that. When will Atticus update the writing section? Writers love a note-taking function. Yes, we do. We love being able to tag and link notes to scenes, and intuitive and integrated plot grid is needed. Absolutely, I agree. Atticus agrees. It is in the works. It will take a while for our team to program it. We are focusing on collaboration features next, and the reason for that is because plotting tools and outlining tools exist on the marketplace. We do want them to exist inside of Atticus, but there are solutions for authors out there currently. Collaboration features, there isn't really solutions for authors. So we want to make sure that we tackle that first so that there is something available in terms of collaboration. And then once we have that kind of worked out, then we will probably start doing more plotting and outlining features. Now, we may drip some features out. It really depends on how the programming goes. I said at the beginning of this live stream, I am not a programmer. I am in awe of everything that they can tackle and make beautiful and functional. And what I do know is that certain things need to be done in certain order, or else it just makes it too hard to update in the future, or they don't interact well together. And also some things can be batched together where you can do a whole collection of things at one time, and you cannot do a different collection of things at one time. So with all of these things in mind, as I said, we do want to have plotting and outlining. Absolutely. It is on our radar. It is something that will be under development as soon as we can get to that. Okay, so Theo says Atticus comes up with its blue screen, but nothing else is there. It's not loading anything. If anybody else is experiencing this, it generally just means your Atticus needs an update. So if you see the profile icon in the top right of your screen, you'll want to click that and use the logout link. If you do not see the profile icon, you can just skip to the hard refresh. So once again, on most Windows computers, that is pressing Control-Shift-R. On most Mac computers, that is Command-Shift-R, and that should get you refreshed and loaded back. Sometimes if your browser has done a lot of updating recently, there can be caching issues. So if that doesn't work immediately, what I usually suggest is just opening an incognito Chrome browser tab, which you can do by pressing Control or Command-Shift-N. And that will open incognito that bypasses the cache, and then you can log in there and it should update for you that way. Okay, let's see. I tried the old turn it off and on again. Yeah. Hopefully, oh, I see, you've got it. It's there. That's fantastic. I'm so glad. Save the Cat refers to that abandoned parts content as the litter box. It is a great feature. That is awesome. I love that. We've got an Atticus doggo though, so we'll have to come up with something like the I don't know. I was gonna say the playpen, but I guess that's, I don't know, the Kennel Club. I don't know. We'll come up with something. I like that though. Thank you. Okay, I know it's hard to define deadlines, but any news about additional fonts and drop caps? Yes, they're in development now that this new user interface is live. That those two things will be two of the very next features to come about. We don't have an exact deadline because it is they do have to go through quality control, so that can take some time. But we are working on it. They will be out as soon as we can get them out. Very excited. We have some really cool drop caps coming soon. Does this new look include dark mode functionality? Not yet. We know that is something that is highly in demand. We really want to do it, but we want to do it right and make sure nothing gets lost in the process. So it is something that we are working on, but it is not quite available yet. Okay. Cannot write in the format part of the program like I did in the old one. Used to be able to write in the format part and make the writing in a smaller box. So you may have missed this at the beginning. Maybe you weren't here when we first started, but you can still write in the center here, and you can have your previewer showing. The previewer pops out by this little previewer button in the bottom right, or you can close it and have just your writing panel. So that option is the same. It's just a bit of a different location. So hopefully that helps there. Jason, I know it sounds like things take a long time, and that's because they really do take a long time. And like I mentioned, some things have to be done in certain orders. We've got an amazing team of programmers who are working really, really hard to get us all of these features that we all want. And me and my team members joke about this, and we know this well. We want everything and we want it right now. We're there with you. Unfortunately, it just takes time. So it is coming. I know it seems to take a while, but Atticus is updating as very quickly as we can. You're so welcome, Linda. I'm glad you can join us. I think I am getting kind of to the bottom of the, oh no, I've still got more to go. I was gonna say, I think I'm getting to the bottom. You guys are definitely gonna max my voice out. But if you've got more questions, I'm here for you. So don't worry, keep them coming. Let's see here. Could you do the ... becomes ... just by typing 3? I'm assuming that means ellipses. That does happen already. So if you are writing and no, at ... night. So you can see it jumps. I just typed in 3 dots, but it jumps from 1 to the end. So that is now an ellipsis. It's 1 character, even though I typed 3 dots. So it does do that. Hopefully that's what you meant. Thank you. I'm glad I could be helpful. And I'm really glad you were able to join us. Oh, this is perfect. Atticus could bury his bones. You guys are brilliant. Creative minds. I love it. Oh, you've got more puppy pad zone. You guys are good at this. I love it. I love it. We're definitely bringing those to our design team and programmers. It's just brilliant. I like that. I like the puppy pad zone, but bury his bones is, I have to say, it's my favorite. Maybe we could have a contest and vote on it at some point when we're ready to launch that. Oops. Let's see here. Could you test the bold visibility right now? It seems like normal text. Just bolded content. So oops. If we just highlight a section and just press bold, is that what you mean? In here, it's not super obvious, but hopefully you can see in the, I'll try to zoom in a little bit. So you can see in the preview where it is bold. It's the standard bold that you would get in pretty much any word processing program. So hopefully that's working for you. If you're having trouble with that, you can write into support, but that should be fairly standard. Okay, so thank you. I'm not sure how to pronounce your name. Fiverr. Thank you. Sorry if I've mispronounced that. Thank you so much. I'm so glad you could join us. Thank you for being here with me. I got here at 10:30 and can rewatch this, but could you show how you exported EPUB and the other format? I see the docx button. So live sharing my screen here. I'm not sure that the EPUB is going to show you because it's only showing my Atticus, but I will give it a shot. So if you just click formatting, it will be under your options here. You can export an EPUB or a PDF. Exporting the EPUB, it'll think about it. And then I don't know if you're seeing this pop-up window, but it kind of went to my downloads folder. Another way to get there is click where it says edit book details up here, and you have your export buttons there. I think what you meant with the docx function is this this new link here. So just another option to export the docx from the writing section. I hope that helps. Have any improvements been made in line breaks, page breaks? I'm proofing a manuscript, and there have been several examples of single syllable words being broken across lines or even pages. Have you by any chance copy and pasted your content into Atticus? If you have any copy pasted content, that can often bring with it hidden coding, which will do funky things like add weird line breaks. If you have imported your manuscript from docx, it should be fine. Some Word programs hide things like, I'm forgetting the name of them, but invisible spaces between letters. And that can sometimes import. We have been seeing a little bit more of that. I think it tends to be if you have a specific setting. If you write into support, we should be able to help you with that. But as a general rule, if you import your document instead of copy pasting it, that generally fixes most of these problems. If I'm misunderstanding, you can let me know. But for that kind of question, the best case solution is going to be write into support, and we'll be able to help you a little bit more personally there. Okay, great. Thank you guys. Thank you for all your wonderful comments. Thank you. I am going to try and wrap this up fairly soon here. I will be going live for the next few days. Hopefully you have the schedule. Tomorrow, it will be tomorrow evening in terms of, I'm in Pacific Standard Time, so try to get some other time zones in there. But if you want to join me, I'll be kind of all over the clock for the next few days. We'll announce it daily so that you can see when I'm going live. If you think of any other questions, you can jump back in. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and ring the notifications bell, and that will always let you know when we release a new tutorial or demo video or when I go live, so you'll never miss anything. And I'm going to take a quick look over the rest of the comments, but if you guys could all just show some love for our programmers, I want to take some screenshots back for them so that they know how much we appreciate all the hard work that they've put in. This has been such an incredible labor of love from the entire team, and our programmers have just been absolutely amazing. So if you could just show some love for our programmers in the comment section so that I have something to share with them, I would really appreciate that. And let's see, I think, okay, so Stephen, yeah, you're going to want to write into support. I can see you have a few more questions there. We'll be able to help you out for sure, but it's not something I can really do on a live video here. Gabrielle is asking about our roadmap for nonfiction books. We have released quite a few nonfiction features like the call-out boxes, the editable footnotes and such, hanging indents for resource pages. If there's anything specific you're still waiting on, Gabrielle, you can write into support and let us know, and we might be able to give you an update that way. Okay. Okay, thank you guys for sharing the love of the programmers. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. We really appreciate you. We really love our Atticus authors community. You guys are just so wonderful. The positivity is just wonderful to be a part of. I'm so grateful to you and how supportive and inspiring and uplifting you all are. So thank you so much for joining me today. Maybe I will see you again soon in another live stream, but definitely stay in touch, whether it is leaving comments on these videos or writing into our support. We'd love to hear from you, and we really do appreciate you. So thank you so much, and I hope you all have a good day and enjoy exploring Atticus. All right, we'll talk to you later.